When people hear the word soulmate, they immediately imagine a person who will walk beside them for the rest of their lives, the one who will hold their hand in every storm, celebrate every victory, and never leave their side. But this is the illusion. A soulmate is not always sent to be your lifelong companion. Many times they arrive only for a chapter, not for the entire story. Imagine your life as a long journey across mountains and valleys. At some point, when you are tired, confused, or standing at a crossroads, someone appears. Their presence feels different. It feels as if you have known them for eternity. They give you direction, they give you clarity, and for a moment you believe they are the one who will walk with you until the very end. But as you move forward, you begin to realize something painful. The paths that once aligned slowly begin to separate. The lessons they were meant to bring into your life have already been delivered. Their role in your story has been fulfilled. And now life, in its mysterious wisdom, begins to take them away. This separation hurts deeply. Because you do not only lose a person, you lose the version of yourself that existed with them. You lose the comfort of believing that someone will always be there to carry your burdens. Yet in that loss, something else is born: independence, resilience, and a deeper understanding that no one outside of you can walk your entire path. To see a soulmate leave is painful, but it is also natural. They were never yours to keep. They were a gift for a specific season, a mirror reflecting what you most needed to see, a guide pointing you toward the next stage of your journey. And just as they appeared unexpectedly, they also depart unexpectedly. Not because love was absent, but because growth demanded it. Would you like me to expand all 6 keynotes in this deeper reflective style one by one, and then I'll give you a unifying conclusion at the end, like a full speech transcript for your channel? You said, expand keynote 2 without conclusion and subheadings. ChatGPT said, here sits the expanded version of keynote 2, Soulmates Reveal Your Shadows, written in the same meditative, reflective style. When we think of soulmates, we often imagine someone who will only bring out the best in us, someone who will highlight our beauty, our kindness, our strengths. But a true soulmate does something far more uncomfortable. They reveal the parts of ourselves we try hardest to hide. They are like a mirror, but not the flattering kind. They reflect your shadows, the wounds you carry from childhood, the insecurities you bury under confidence, the fears you keep silent about. Through them, you begin to see the raw truth of who you are, not just the image you like to present to the world. You may notice that with a soulmate, you feel emotions you never expected. Anger rises more quickly. Jealousy appears more often. Old pain resurfaces without warning. And this is not because they are trying to harm you. It is because their presence touches the very layers of your soul that have remained untouched for too long. Think of it like this. If you have an old wound on your body and someone gently presses it, you feel pain. The pain is not created by their touch. It was already there, hidden beneath the surface. In the same way, a soulmate's closeness exposes the hidden wounds of your heart. The intensity of the connection makes it impossible for you to continue ignoring what you have suppressed. This can feel overwhelming. Many people run away when their shadows are revealed. They blame the other person for the discomfort instead of recognizing that it is their own healing that is being demanded. But if you have the courage to stay with the discomfort, to observe what has been awakened, you will realize that this is one of the most powerful gifts a soulmate gives you, the chance to meet your true self, not only your light, but also your darkness. Do you want me to expand keynote 3 in the same deep flowing style next? You said, Spend keynote 3 without conclusion and subheadings. ChatGPT said, here sits the expanded version of keynote 3. Love does not erase pain, in the same reflective and calm style. We are taught to believe that love is the solution to everything, that when the right person enters our lives, the loneliness will vanish, the sadness will dissolve, and the wounds of the past will magically heal. But the truth is far more complex. Even when you meet your soulmate, love does not erase pain. In fact, sometimes the presence of a soulmate can make the pain even sharper. Why? Because love makes you more open, more vulnerable, more exposed. When you love deeply, you also risk deeply. And when you allow someone to enter the innermost parts of your being, they inevitably touch not only your joy, but also your scars. The bond with a soulmate is intense, and that intensity acts like a magnifying glass. Qualities you admire become brighter, but so do the struggles you carry within yourself. Small disagreements feel heavier. Old wounds resurface with greater force. Love becomes a mirror, showing you the raw truths of your own attachments, your own expectations, your own fears of loss. It is easy to imagine that love will always feel like comfort, like safety. But in reality, true love also shakes you, tests you, and even hurts you. This pain is not a sign that love is failing. It is a sign that love is real. Because only when you allow yourself to be completely seen, both in your strengths and in your fragility, does the depth of love reveal itself. A soulmate does not erase the pain inside you. They awaken it, they bring it into the light so that you may finally face what has long been hidden. And while it hurts, it is also the beginning of transformation. For pain that is seen clearly is the first pain that can begin to heal. Would you like me to move forward and expand keynote 4 in this same deep style? You said, expand keynote 4 without conclusion and subheadings. ChatGPT said, here sits the expanded version of keynote 4, a soulmate tests your attachment, written in the same deep meditative flow. One of the most difficult lessons a soulmate brings is the test of attachment. When you meet someone who feels like they are a part of your very soul, the natural instinct is to hold on tightly. You want to keep them close, to freeze every moment, to make sure nothing ever changes. But life does not work in this way. And love, in its purest form, is never about possession. A soulmate will often teach you this lesson by challenging the way you cling. Their presence shows you how much of your love is unconditional and how much of it is based on fear, fear of losing them, fear of being alone, fear of the unknown. In this way, they reveal the subtle attachments you carry. You begin to realize that much of your suffering is not caused by their actions, but by your inability to let life flow naturally. You suffer because you want to keep what cannot be kept. You suffer because you confuse love with ownership. Yet the role of a soulmate is to show you that true love is not a chain, it is a space. It is the freedom to allow another person to exist fully as they are, even if that means their path eventually leads away from yours. This test is not easy. It can feel like your heart is being torn apart because every part of you wants to grasp and hold. But the deeper lesson is that love does not mean clinging. Love means presence. Love means gratitude for the moments shared. Love means trusting that what is meant to remain will remain and what is meant to leave will leave. A soulmate teaches you that detachment is not the absence of love, it is the highest expression of love. For only when you let go of possession do you truly understand what it means to love without fear, without demand, and without conditions. Do you want me to expand Keynote 5 next in the same reflective style? You said expand Keynote 5 without conclusion and subheadings. ChatGPT said, here's this the expanded version of Keynote 5. Growth is the real gift of a soulmate in the same reflective and meditative style. When people dream of meeting their soulmate, they often imagine endless happiness, peace, and a life without struggles. But the true gift of a soulmate is not comfort, it is growth. Their presence does not allow you to remain the same. They shake your world, they challenge your habits, they push you to confront the truths you would rather avoid. A soulmate is like fire. At first you are drawn to its warmth, its light, its beauty, but fire also burns, and in that burning, something within you is transformed. The parts of yourself that no longer serve you, your illusions, your fears, your false identities, are brought to the surface so they can be consumed. What remains is stronger, purer, more authentic. Think of how you grow through difficulty. It is rarely in moments of ease that your spirit evolves. It is in moments of challenge, heartbreak, and loss. A soulmate often becomes the one who delivers these very experiences, not to destroy you, but to awaken you. They are the catalyst for change, the spark that pushes you beyond the limits of who you thought you were. Sometimes the growth they bring feels unbearable. You may even wish you had never met them because life felt simpler before their arrival. But with time you begin to see clearly, without them you would never have discovered the strength that was hidden inside you. Without them you would not have broken free from the patterns that held you captive. The real gift of a soulmate is not the joy of their presence, but the transformation they inspire. They leave you wiser, more resilient, and more in tune with your true self. And though the process is often painful, it is also sacred. Because through them you do not just love another person, you evolve into a greater version of yourself. Would you like me to expand Keynote 6 now, so you'll have the complete flow ready before I craft the final conclusion? You said, expand Keynote 6 without conclusion and subheadings. ChatGPT said, here's such the expanded version of Keynote 6. The final soulmate is within you, written in the same meditative flowing tone. The most painful truth about soulmates is also the most liberating. No one outside of you can ever complete you. For as long as you seek wholeness in another person, you will always feel a sense of emptiness, a longing that cannot be fully satisfied. A soulmate may come to remind you of love, of connection, of beauty, but the deepest bond you will ever know is the one you create within yourself. When you look for a soulmate outside, you risk forgetting the one that has always been present, your own soul. The love you hope another person will give you is the very love you must first learn to give yourself. Only then can any relationship become a space of true freedom instead of dependency. Many people spend their lives searching for the one. They travel far. They chase faces, they attach their happiness to people who come and go. And yet the search continues. Why? Because what they are looking for does not exist outside. The search is meant to turn inward. The final soulmate is not the partner you dream of. It is the unity you cultivate within your heart and mind. It is the moment you no longer run from yourself, no longer reject your flaws, no longer need external validation to feel worthy. In that moment you are whole, and from wholeness, every connection you form becomes richer, more authentic, more free. When you find this inner soulmate, you realize that love is not about filling a void, it is about overflowing. You no longer cling to others to heal your wounds because you have already embraced them. You no longer fear loss because you have already discovered the one companion who never leaves you. Would you like me to now weave all 6 expanded keynotes together with a powerful conclusion so it reads as a complete speech for your video? You said, write the conclusion of the above speech. ChatGPT said, here sys a conclusion that ties together all 6 expanded keynotes into one powerful ending, in the same reflective Shi Heng style tone. So, what is the painful truth about soulmates? It is that they are not always here to stay. They come and go, sometimes like a gentle breeze, other times like a storm that shakes everything you thought you knew. They reveal your shadows, awaken your pain, test your attachments, and push you into growth. And when their purpose is complete, they may leave, taking with them not your wholeness, but the illusions that once blinded you. The lesson is not to despair when they depart, nor to cling when life calls them away. The lesson is to recognize that every soulmate, whether they stay for a season or for a lifetime, is a messenger. They do not come to complete you, they come to awaken you to the truth that you were never incomplete. In the end, the deepest soulmate you will ever find is within yourself. When you make peace with your own heart, when you embrace your shadows and your light, when you stand whole in your own presence, then every connection you experience becomes richer, freer, and more true. And so, the painful truth is also the most liberating one. No one outside of you will ever give you the completion you seek. That final union must happen within. And once it does, love ceases to be something you search for. It becomes something you embody.